right. Here, but let's see. We can do this. Okay. Share my screen. Okay. And I want to go over our power. See. Whoa. This is let's try that again. Let's try that again. All right. Let's go to window. Here we go. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the rhyme and rhythm of healthy living. So, hi, my name is Dr. Richie Forte, and welcome to our next rendition of our weekly workshops. It is Wednesday. We are ready to rock and roll, and I am so grateful to be here to bring you this new workshop. So, life flows in rhythm and rhyme, and things move pretty seamlessly when we're on the right rhythm with the right beat. When we're trying to work upstream or work against the rhythm, it doesn't seem to come as quick and as simple. So let's dive into about what is the rhythm and the rhyme of healthy living and healthy longevity. So this is fun because I love this little graphic. What this says is everything that I say to you is personal to me, and everything you say to me is personal to you. So please take nothing that we say today personally. If you choose to, that is you. This is not me talking at you. It is me talking with you and talking to the masses to help them situate their time and where they are on their rhythm of their journey. So we get a report card of health. And that report card of health, we can check it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or every decade or so. And our report card of health spits out what we put in, very similar to what we get at school. When we get our report card, we're going to get out of our report card what effort we put into our classwork will determine the outcome of that report card. So your report card of health is a really, really, really ruthless representation of how we have been caring or not caring for our bodies for our entire lifetime. There's nothing that is great or wise or ideal or excellent that you can achieve that does not require time, frequency, and intensity to some degree. It's that simple, right? To be a professional athlete, the time, the frequency, and the intensity of the practice cannot be once a week or once a month. It needs to be multiple times a day. To be the best you can be at something, it requires time, right? You don't get to show up to a new job and be the best person there on day one. It takes time, and it takes a frequency of going 5 days a week, and it takes an intensity to learn the new processes that you have to learn. And the more intensely and frequently you put the time in to learn those processes, the sooner and the better you're going to be able to replicate those processes and have those processes be yours. So guess what? Your health uses these three things. And a lot of us, and a lot of times, we don't utilize our time, our frequency, and our intensity to the best of our ability. A lot of times, hearing the word time and our healing our body is annoying. It's frustrating. It's because it's an annoyance and it gets in the way of us doing things, whether it's having family time or making money, right? Those are the two real things that it gets in the way of. It's making money at work or having time with our family. That's what time in healing our body takes away from. Frequency, how often do we do it? Well, usually we do it when we have pain. And the intensity of it, debatable, depending on what's going on, right? There's barely any intensity if I'll just let it wait till it goes away. There's no intensity in waiting. But if we're going to do something about it, then our intensity is going to creep up. But let's talk about these three things. So let's talk about time. Unfortunately, healing takes time. And we hate that, right? We hate when things take time. We are in a world of instant gratification. I want it and I want it now. Well, guess what? We don't get to have it now because it took time for things to break down. Now, yes, okay, there's other things that don't take as much time, right? If you get into a car accident or here in Northwest Arkansas, if you're mountain biking, you hit a tree, that didn't take much time to cause that damage. But most of us who don't have a mechanism of injury, the injury took time. And so healing is going to take time. Now, question, when will you ever be done learning to care for your spine or your body or healing your body? I'll tell you. Never. When you're dead. Okay. Why? Because you are constantly healing and you are constantly learning new things to care for your body as we go through these different rhythms of life. Our care for our body is going to shift and change based on what we're doing, what our goals are, and how fit we are to achieve that goal or that portion of our lives. So guess what? You're stuck with using time. You can put it off. And you can say, well, I can just deal with this later on down the line, and that's fun. But I want to spark something in you. Do you want the last 10 to 20 years of your life being you waiting to die because you put off the time until it was almost too late? Or do you want the last 10 to 20 years of your life to be vibrant and exciting and full of joy and rhythm and hope? What do you want? Right? You're going to have to invest the time at some point. The sooner you dive in to take care of something, the quicker it's going to get better. The longer you let something linger, the more time it's going to take to get to the end of that tunnel of healing the broken or dysfunctional processes. So time is really important. And now more than ever in the time of instant gratification is time a real virtue that we have to give ourselves patience and grace to get through and do the things necessary. It's very easy to take pain away. It's very difficult to fix the dysfunction pattern that caused the pain in the first place. So if we want to be quick to take the pain away, that's fine, but I can tell you that pain's going to come back because we didn't figure out why the pain got there in the first place. But if we take the time and we invest the time and we have patience to allow that time to take its course, we can uncover the dysfunction pattern behind the pain and allow your body to heal truly and powerfully and ideally, so we can do our best to mitigate this from ever happening again. So time is important and time is of the essence. Frequency is amazing. How often do you do something? Okay. So how often do you do something is very, very, very important. Discipline equals freedom, and most people don't think that. So let's talk about it. Discipline equals freedom. What do we mean? Well, have you ever been to a job and they hand you a script and you're like, oh, I'm going to sound like a robot because these aren't my words, they're their words, and I don't want to use their words, I want to use my words because I'm an individual, I'm independent, rah, rah, rah. Yes, cool. We've all heard that, right? But guess what? If you take the time to learn that script or that discipline, you get the freedom to allow it to become yours. If you really take the time to dive in and learn something and apply the discipline to get that frequency, to learn it, to know it, to own it, then you have the freedom to express that in your unique way. Healing is the same way. So a lot of times people go to the chiropractor and they're like, why do I have to go 3 times a week? That's so many times. Why can't I just come 1 time and it be done? Well, discipline equals freedom. Our body develops patterns. Patterns take a frequency of doing one thing a certain way to create a pattern. And if the pattern is a pattern of dysfunction, we have to create a new pattern that is going to allow for function. So the way we do that is we need to have the discipline to have a high frequency in the beginning to create a new positive pattern that is going to give us the freedom to enjoy life the way we want to, and not have our discomforts and our dysfunction dictate our decisions. Your decisions need to be because you don't choose to do something, not because you can't. You know you haven't put in the rhythm of frequency, you haven't played to the potential of frequency when your decisions are made based on how your body can function. If you play to the rhythm of frequency, you invest the time in the frequency to create the discipline, you will gain the freedom to do the things that you love to do when you want to do them because you want to do them. Learning to live differently requires a rhythm of frequency. Learning to do anything different or learning anything requires a frequency of doing it to not only just learn it or memorize it, but to own it. And the way that you get to own it, and the way we know we own something, this is what my dad taught me when I was learning in school. You don't need to just memorize it, you need to own it. And the way you own it is learn something so well that you can teach it to others. If you can replicate it and you can teach it to others, you now own that thing. So if you can own the rhythm of frequency and understand what your body needs, and you dive into that rhythm of frequency and you give yourself the discipline to do it, you then own that. You understand it, you can replicate it, you can teach it, you can talk about it. It'll allow you to live differently in a very, very, very good way. We just have to do it. So frequency is really simple. Do something often to own something, so that way your body gets to have the freedom to do what it wants to do. You're going to be owning the new rhythm of function. That's a huge, beautiful thing that we get to do. And finally is intensity. Intensity is pretty simple. You get to play all out and be persistent. So if you're going to do something at 50%, can you expect 100% back? Absolutely not. You can't. If you give something 150%, you should expect 50% back. If you give something 70%, you should expect 70% back. But if you've already allotted the time and you're in on the frequency, why would you not play to the fullest of your potential at each time you're doing something? The less intensity you give when you do a thing, the longer that frequency has to go so you can own or master that thing. So intensity is simple. Play all out, be persistent. The more intensity or effort you give in each layer of frequency, the more you're going to receive out of the time you're putting in. So do that. When are we done? Well, I'll give you a hint, we are living, breathing, healing organisms. That healing stops when we no longer have breath on this planet. When our organs shut down is when healing stops. So when are we ever done? Never. Okay? We're never done. And that can seem daunting, but it can also seem exciting. Because that means you always have room for improvement as you go on. As long as you are as long as you're alive, you are healing. And as long as you are healing, you can change. When we have unending benefits to our body, when we have unending benefits to our health by just doing a regimen of steps on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis, and we continue to see benefits, why would we stop? I don't know. There's a stigma around chiropractic. When you go to a chiropractor, you have to go forever. Okay? And I say it with that voice on purpose because everybody looks at it like it's a bad thing. My question is, if you want to be healthy and fit and you're going to eat leafy vegetables, when are you going to stop? Are you just going to eat them for a month and then decide that, oh, I'm healthy enough for a month, going to carry over for the rest of my life? No, it's a lifestyle change. You're going to continue eating clean. Or you go to the gym for 60 days and you start to see definition in your muscles and you see pounds and inches fall off the scale. And so you've gone to the gym, 5 days a week for 2 months. And now all of a sudden, well, that's overuse. So I'm just going to stop now. And this is all going to stay. No, you keep going to the gym year after year after year. So why would you not utilize the one profession that helps to stimulate the greatest operating system we have in our body on a recurring basis as a lifestyle change? I don't know. To me, it sounds pretty simple. Add it to your lifestyle And it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm always going there. Go there because you enjoy it, because you see the benefits it gives to your life. If you don't utilize it properly, you're not going to get out of it what you want. Notice how I say if you don't use it properly, it's not going to work for you. That's false. If you don't utilize it properly, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. Chiropractic works, whether you believe it or not, but it's how do you want it to work for you? Do you want it to be a Band-Aid? Do you want it to be a natural version of ibuprofen or Advil to take the pain away? Or do you want it to be something more, something greater, adding to your longevity, adding to your ability to be able to make decisions as you go through life instead of having the decisions being made for you? Adjustments affect your thinking and your body. It affects everything. They stimulate the most important system in your body that governs all other systems in your body. Why would you not want to benefit that system? And some of you may say, I don't know, I never thought of it like that. Well, we're here. Our doors are open for you. Let's have a conversation. You don't have to be a patient, but let's have a conversation. And let's take these stigmas out of the way, because guess what? Healing takes time. And you can have all the money in the world, but if you're sick and dying and can't use it, what the heck good is it? Your body is the best investment you can make. If you invest in your body and then you do all the other things right and you have buco bucks, you then have the energy and the wherewithal and the health to be able to utilize it. You can go travel the world. You can donate and be philanthropic. You can invest. You can take care of your kids and grandkids. And you can do all those things and you can enjoy time with them instead of being in the scooter. Or we can't go to Disney World because Papa can't walk that long. Or, we can't go to the museum if they don't have a place for me to rest. Don't be that person. That's so, early 2000s, being that person that has to break and rest and do things. We have the tools at our fingertips to be able to not be that person. So utilize it. 3 things we can't circumvent to be excellent at anything is time, frequency, and intensity. That's it. 3 simple things that we do at all times. Time can be as simple as a millisecond. Frequency can be as simple as once. Intensity can be 1%. Well, why would you invest so little in the only thing that you're going to leave this earth in? This body. It's the only thing you have. Take the time, invest in the frequency, and give it your all when you're doing it, and you will see greatness change before your eyes. You just need to trust it. I don't adjust you for your symptoms. That's so rudimentary, that's so simple, that's so superficial, that's so blah. We adjust you to restore the function in your body. I care more about how you function than how you feel. It doesn't mean I don't care about how you feel. It just means I'm putting more of a priority over how you function, because I know when you function better, you heal better. When you function better and you heal better, your pain goes away. Pain is the last thing to show up and the first thing to go away. And it's only 10% of what your nerves can tell us is going on. That's it. So we adjust you to restore your function so that you take your symptoms away. Maintenance chiropractic care wins. Adjusting you for your function wins. People under maintenance chiropractic care experience a reduced amount of symptoms of depression and anxiety, reduced visits to medical providers, less hospitalization days, and the patients perceive the maintenance services as highly beneficial to prevention and health promotion. Wow, that's amazing. People under 5 months of chiropractic care noticed improvements in their physical health, their mental and emotional health, their overall wellness, and they saw that it had no end of benefits of chiropractic care. That's so cool. So the rhythm of life never ends. We get to choose wisely and benefit greatly, or choose poorly and look at the consequences. Flow with the rhythm of life. Invest in the time, in the frequency, and the intensity to create the life that you want, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for the next few decades. It all starts now. It all starts with you looking into yourself and seeing, how am I doing at time at frequency, and at intensity? Am I doing excellent at all three of these categories, or are there things I need to do better? So look at that. Choose what you have to do better, and let's work together. I love this conversation for us. It's amazing. And it's so much fun because it's really simple, it's really easy, and we don't think of it as simple and easy. I mean, look, it's spooky season, right? This guy right here, listen, he didn't invest in his time, frequency, and intensity sitting over my right shoulder. And look what happened. He's still here. He's still trying to figure out what care plan he wants to choose. And guess what? He's got no flesh and no muscles and no organs. He's just bones. So invest in yourself because it's the only body you have. We are so excited that you're here. We thank you for listening, and we cannot wait to see you soon. Bye, everybody.